shot. And so that came from the future, correct? Is that what we're saying? That they beamed it back from the future, yes. And that was the anti-god. So is everything they're doing pointless because you can't change the future? Is the son of the anti-god going to come back and get the anti-god?
I don't necessarily think that either that was the anti-god, although it was very ominous the way it came out. But the fact that they got that message, I believe that the way they told us about this message, I feel like someone wanted them to get this message.
Mm-hmm.
So the question is, though, is that if it's the anti-god walking out, which I do kind of believe, I lean more on that side, right? This ominous woman who was sucked in, right? That was our hero's death character. So, but now she's walking out. She looks like she's one of the evil touch people.
Catherine.
But someone recorded this utilizing tachyons in their technology and calculated where it would arrive. And so they knew to send it at the right time so that they would be receiving it. Or at least that's how the characters presented it. So it's as if someone wanted them to receive this message, this warning per se. So maybe it's one of them that did it.
Yeah. After having the comment, yeah.
Question mark.
I still buy it. I still really buy it, and I love the visual. It's just
one of many things that we ask about in wonderment of this movie. Like, okay, like what's going on there? It's
in Signs when the alien walks by the party and you see it for a
great
second.
Shot.
Yeah, and that's what this feels like to me. Just enough. It feels just enough. I love that. I don't want any more of what we see. And at the end, when he reaches into the mirror to potentially get Catherine back, I feel like that ending's earned because it's asking a question I want to attempt to answer. It's not going, what? Wait, they were alive the whole time and now they're in the back of the car stabbing you in the throat? Or this is all pointless? The end of, some horror movies end with just, it makes the entire movie almost pointless. Now, I'm down for some nihilism, but I want 100 minutes of nihilism, not a final 2 minutes of insanity. So I think the final question that this movie asks is really earned. And that's another successful film to me. That it, I don't know. At the end, when he reaches out, I don't even want to know the answer. I'm just satisfied with it. And it doesn't make anything moot. It's an excellent ending. That's what I think.
Do you think that Professor Burak had changed his name from Wang, and that after the events in San Francisco, he decided to go legit, and he had his PhD from China, and he got a job at this school. And then after the events of Prince of Darkness, when he saw the end of the world almost happen again, first to a sorcerer and this time to an anti-god, that he just said, you know what, screw all this. I'm moving to the Southwest where none of this can find me. And then a bunch of tremors came because
3 years later,
he's always involved in weird trinkets or weird obscure knowledge. And he's always involved in some creatures or some entity coming to take out some scale of humanity, even if it's just a town in the Southwest. I wonder, kind of like there's a Jack Burton timeline. Is there the Wang timeline? Does Victor Wong have his own timeline, and it's these 3 movies?
Oh man. Okay, so I see him totally being in this film, Prince of Darkness, but I just don't think a graboid would take out Egg Shen. Egg would be ready.
Oh, I'm sorry, I kept saying Wang. That was Dennis Dun, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, it's fine. I got you. I think Egg would. I don't even pick up on that. I think Egg would. I just can't picture a graboid killing Egg.
Well, maybe he kind of lost it after this, though. Like
when retirement?
Kind of like a permanent PTSD. He had to remove himself from the world of physics and academia.
You know what's interesting too, John? You battle the why can't I remember his name in Big Trouble in Little China? So you're battling this demon in Big Trouble in Little China. I'm out of here.
Oh, Lo Pan.
Lo Pan. And then you have to go battle the son of the anti-god. Come on. Like what?
Like just a year or 2 later too.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm going to go legit. I'm going to be a professor. Oh, here comes this weird eclipse and this supernova. Guess we got to save the world again.
Yeah, I would move to the middle of nowhere in Nevada and just try to live a life owning a restaurant or a bodega that doesn't have enough supplies, but I have so many historical trinkets I can sell them and stay.
I mean, he basically got by selling hubcaps and beer.
Yeah. So he has to have money outside of it, which he probably accumulated he probably pilfered something from Lopan's place.
But he leapt at those graboid tongue mouths, though. I think that he thought his mysticism could make something valuable out of him.
Businessman. Well, thank you for joining me, John. I know I hypothesize a lot. Normally we don't get into the films like this too much, but it's just such an interesting study of a director making whatever he wants. Not making his vision 100%, for better or worse, which is, I think, for better, but for the legacy of this film, maybe for worse, if that makes sense.
That's tough to say. I think that
we cinephiles like it, right? Cinephiles.
I think that as time goes on, a bigger proportion of people who have seen it will like it. But I think that the people who are seeing it for the first time today are being directed to it by people who love it. There's too many movies out there. People aren't just stumbling across this and being like, oh, I'll watch this now. I don't think that's happening as much.
Alice Cooper zombie. Oh, no, yeah. No, all right, one advice, though, John, that I think we can, before we get out of here, that we can give everybody, is just, we know you're busy. We know that you have a job. Maybe you have, your extracurricular activities, kids, spouse,
a movie podcast and a movie website.
Yeah, a website. But if you ever watch this movie, just do it in half-hour chunks, but just focus on it. Just listen, because there's some very rewarding things if you just listen to the dialogue. And I think it allows you to sort of be wrapped up in it. I know a lot of you don't have that opportunity to have that, but just try, because it's very rewarding. It's much more rewarding now than it ever has been for me, this film.
Likewise.
Cool. All right, well, thank you, John. We're doing it In the Mouth of Madness next.
Got to round out that trilogy. We got to make sure the world ending gets halted again.
And then we're on the Saw, or do we have others in front of that?
We can do the Saw series, or there's a little Lovecraft series I'd like to do.
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh, so we're doing Lovecraft, and then we're gonna do Mouth of Madness, Lovecraft. We're gonna do Monster Hunter sometime, and then Saw.
I'm down. We've been threatening to do the Saw set before there was a Jigsaw movie, and now there's a Jigsaw movie. So 8, and then Spiral. We will probably, by the time that we are getting deep into the Saw series, I imagine Spiral will be coming out, and we can round it out with Spiral. I think that's 9 films.
I think the world needs to hear your Saw thoughts, so I'm excited for this. But I'm looking forward to the Color Out of Space, and our other Lovecraft stuff. But thank you, John. Thank you for joining me, man.
All right, cheers, man.
All right, so for me, Mark Hoffmeyer, and for John, subatomic particle collapsing on himself on a subatomic level, Levingood, this is Movies on the Flicks. We'll see you next week.